Found this interesting. This is a painting by Edwin Long, and he painted this in 1875, inspired by the Babylonian marriage market, which was in the writings of Herodotus. So the painting depicts an annual Babylonian tradition where young women were put up for bid to be married off to the highest bidder. The most beautiful was sold first, and the money they brought in was then used to marry off the less conventionally attractive women, accompanying dowries. Beauty became currency, and human value was calculated in silver, gold, and status. Interesting. Gee, are we seeing this? That it's a white woman being sold, and they're not black. So seems to me that this painting is depicting all women being exploited. So most people know that the pentagram's not evil, right? Like most people know by now who have studied any form of spirituality, whether that New Age or some other path of esoteric knowledge, that when you see an upside down pentagram, that means you are viewing someone who only understands themselves in a material way. And this is why it is something negative, because when you are only understanding yourself as a material being and a physical being, then you are discounting the whole other part of yourself, the whole other spiritual part of yourself, which is why when a man understands both sides of himself, that the pentagram is no longer inverted and his head is up near heaven instead of down near hell. Look, I get it, Westerners. Things are really shit right now. And we are all just doing whatever we can every day just to try and survive. And things are getting worse and worse. But really, we have to also look outside our own little bubble and understand that there are people who have it much worse than we do. And even if we are suffering some type of affliction, some type of illness, there are people in countries right now that are being bombed to pieces that also suffer this same affliction and this same illness. So what we need to do is stop only looking around our own situation and start understanding that we are part of a much bigger picture. So somebody asked about their soul. They asked, how do I know I have a soul, and what is a soul? And so this made me think about a verse in the Kolbrin Bible from the Egyptian texts of the Bronze Book. And it says, the soul remains immortal and indestructible throughout the ages. Its splendor is displayed in noble deeds and its glory in works of art and craftsmanship. It will survive your bodily disintegration. It was not created by the quickening of the flesh, nor conceived within the womb. Its seed existed before the body and preceded the thinking heart. The great God sows soul seeds into earthly flesh, as man sows barley seeds in the fields of black soil. Okay, so everybody knows this guy. This guy is the devil, and he represents when God withdraws his presence from the physical plane and the material world. And when he does that, we no longer understand ourselves on a spiritual level. We only understand ourselves as physical beings, and so we fall into our base desires and our carnal urges because we no longer understand that we're also spiritual. This is why the pentagram is inverted, because it is showing that man's head is down towards the physical and the material, and this is why he has chains, because he is chained and he is controlled by his carnal urges. And so this is why the devil is a operation and a mental state, not a being. So the path of the New Age seems like a very attractive path to a lot of people, and this is because people feel that they can get some kind of reward for little effort. In fact, the effort is imaginary. They really don't have to exert themselves in any other way except an imaginary way, and that is either meditating. And so that is to them in these times, not just being mindful, because meditation is literally emptying the mind. Now they use it as some type of law of attraction where they just say what they want over and over, which is a bit like a prayer. And that's the other thing that you see, that these people just pray and pray and pray. And so this is how they feel themselves, that they are on their spiritual path, when in actual fact they're just really hiding up in their heads and hoping that all this effort is going to pay off in the end. Why are all the social media posts about Jesus so fluffy? Modern Christians have seriously turned their divine king into a huge wimp. And it's not only completely inaccurate, but I also find it disrespectful. Think of kings in ancient times and now compare them to the modern Christian imaginings of Jesus. If Jesus is a king, he's not a quietly spoken passive wimp who spends his days picking flowers and singing hymns with his followers. He is not only a king, though, he is King of Kings, the strongest, most intelligent man in the world, and he embraces all the traits of a king too, for he is literally the archetype. He is strong, he is determined, he is outspoken and authoritative, and he is brutal when he needs to protect the innocent from evil. Okay, let's look a little further into this passive Christ character that these modern Christians have conjured up in their imagination. And let's apply the fractal laws of nature to the archetypal symbol of Jesus and the other archetypal symbols that are connected to Jesus too. Starting with Jesus being the firstborn divine son. Firstborn denotes strength because the firstborn of the litter is usually the strongest. Then we have the lion. Is the lion gentle? Is the lion softly spoken? Is the lion passive? No, the lion will rip your face off. Then we have the eagle. Is the eagle gentle? Is the eagle softly spoken? No, the eagle will literally disembowel you. So can we please stop with this passive Jesus fantasy?